The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by WorkSimple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
We begin on the tracks, rails stretching beyond the horizon. Each tie a memory, each rail a promise of where we might go. In the early years, our first logo appeared, a pioneer stepping onto the platform of possibility. Through seasons of growth, change, and challenge, we moved forward. The whistle of opportunity sounded, and we boarded the train of time. The view changed with every mile, some stations brief, others lasting. Our logos changed too, not just emblems, but mile markers of evolution. Along the way, seats filled with teammates, mentors, veterans, and friends. Some stayed for the ride, others stepped off, leaving their legacy on the rails behind us. And still, the journey continues. The tracks ahead stretch into the unknown, familiar yet full of new promise. What matters most is how we travel, with purpose, with grit, with heart. Because the journey matters, the movement matters, and the legacy of those logos, every year, every show, lives on in the rhythm of these rails. So here we are once again, all aboard. The whistle blows, the tracks call. Together, we ride. We are the H-Train Show, showing veterans programs beyond the VA since 2015. H is in the building now.
Let's go! Are you ready for the H-Train Show?
It's coming live.
I took the oath. 20 years I gave my soul. Sandstorms, fire, a roadside blast. Everything I knew shattered fast.
You haven't seen nothing yet! Woo!
Drowning in turmoil, 15 meds, mine in a haze. Living felt like a permanent death. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. Voice of the broken, thunder in my chest with freedom fighters rising from the wreck. Parents pulled me from the edge of night, pushed me forward back into the light. Ski boots on, carving through pain. Felt my fire on that frozen terrain. Said I was too old to beat the race, so I trained like hell, put them in their place. From slurred words to a podium stand, yeah, I'm racing with lightning in my hands. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. From Kokomo to Olympic slopes, we're the freedom fighters born to cope. Now I take the mic, not a rifle. Broadcast truth, yeah, that's survival. Paralyzed, but still I lead. With every word we plant a seed. Still standing, warriors loud. Can't break us, we screaming proud. Not wounded, we're on the attack. Freedom fighters, and we're taking it back. Freedom fighters, yeah, yeah. Keep rising.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by WorkSimple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is still after the day before
the 250th birthday of the United States of America. Welcome, everybody. You are listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofits and doesn't have a wall. Hey, you're listening to the H Train Show. We're here. Our only mission is to show all veterans and all the men and women in uniform all over the world that there are more programs in beyond the VA. My name's H. The eye candy that you see in front of you. Her name's Amber. She's like my battle. She's this. Well, she's not like. She is my battle, and she's my sister from another mother, kind of thing. So we want to say welcome to everybody, and we hope that you have a fantastic 4th of July coming up tomorrow. Amber, what do you got in store for 4th of July?
I'm going to go to the Capitol building here in Missouri and watch the bands and the fireworks.
Nice. So the situation here in Colorado is that supposedly fireworks are illegal. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I still hear them popping them off. Well, now they because Colorado is such in a drought right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, they are in a drought. Like, I've been here for 11 years, mm-hmm. and I've always had my grass sprinklers hit on my yard 3 times a week, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we can only do it 2 times a week now, Wednesday and Saturday. And for somebody that doesn't really take care of his lawn, yeah, my crap don't look very good, let me tell you. But it's interesting that the fireworks that they're selling here in Colorado, they have police officers that are waiting in unmarked cars at the end of the street that will stop you and give you a ticket, which I don't think that's right. Joy, good morning, Joy. I hope you got your red shirt on. I hope you're having a ball. I'm fired up today. You know why I'm fired up today? Because we have a fabulous show. And we're going to see how we got a new program today. I got HG's going to be doing a few extra things behind the scenes. So that's going to be interesting how he can do it. Bro. Yeah, I know, right? I might have to date him tonight and take him to a nice dinner if he gets this stuff good.
Still no package, Joy. You know, I have noticed when Joel ships something off, it takes an extraordinarily long time to get to me.
What the hell?
I don't know why.
Everybody else takes like 2 days. All
right.
right.
Every time I get a package from you, it literally takes like a week longer than it should. And this has been a little bit over a week longer than it should. So
right. I'm gonna check on that. All right. So hey, let's get the party started. Are you ready, Amber?
Yes, I am.
Hey, are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's go, man. Cole.
Attention, Mel Call.
Oh my God!
He's got mail.
Welcome to Mail Call, your soldier spotlight, powered by Work Simple, highlighting those who serve and inspire.
Wait, okay, wrong overlay. You got it?
Yeah. You didn't want to do your intro video, man?
Oh, I did. Oh, there we go. All right. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. In late June of 2026, a Vietnam War Army veteran from Michigan, Leonard L. Suva, he was honored by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund's In Memory program, recognizing veterans who passed after returning home. He was one of the 768 honorees nationwide this year. Additionally, Michael Keller, an Army veteran with multiple deployments, he received a quilt of Hale County 4-H members on June 11th. Both are recent as well. But we wanted to recognize Leonard L. Suva You know, I just heard about this. You know, the I think it's really important to spotlight veterans.
Mhm.
I really do, because even though the uniform has came off, the uniform really hasn't came off. And people are learning. I mean, we learned last week he wasn't a veteran, but you know, it's not a veteran thing. It's a anybody and everybody. You know, you got to find your special purpose. All right.
Mhm.
I don't mean to be like the jerk, Steve Martin. I got a special purpose, you know. Okay. So that's you know, it's really important to do that. So we just want to salute. We can go ahead and take that screen thing off now. We
You
just
know,
want to go ahead.
I was just gonna say that reminds me. It's like I have a couple of uncles who served in Vietnam, and I know nothing about their service at all because they won't talk about it, or they wouldn't talk about it before they passed. And you know, I would like to know more about what they did, but it almost feels like an intrusion as well. You know
Right.
what I mean?
You don't want to ask. You want
Yeah.
to know, but you don't want to ask. You don't want to bring up bad ones. I know exactly what you mean, because I don't know if I told you the story before. HG's heard it, but like when I got out of high school, like I shipped right to basic right after high school.
Mhm.
I did not know my whole life. I did not know that my dad was in the military.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I did not know. I actually got pissed with him. You know, he always told me, "Oh, the military will serve you." You know, he always told me, "Hey, go in the military," but he never told me that he went in. Okay, and
Yeah.
then when I went to basic, right before basic, my dad told me that he was drafted. Boy, did that piss me off.
Mhm.
And it pissed me off because it was like, well, you didn't you didn't exactly join on your free will. Why did you talk me into it? You know, kind of thing. I don't think until like 2 or 3 years into it, I finally, you know, told my dad, you know, I kind of appreciate pushing. You know, it's one of those things, kind of like when you're little and you're a baby, you don't like a bath. You hate a bath, right? And then when you get older, you're like, oh, I've got to take a shower. I don't feel human until we sit through shower. It's so weird
Yeah.
how when you're young, you start a certain way. And then when you get older, you change. It
Mhm.
goes from baths to liking girls to liking to drink. You know, there's a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that don't drink either after they're 50, because you know, like what's the point? I drink a Jack and Coke and I pass out after I drink that cup. I mean, it's crazy to me how we change.
Mhm.
But you know, I tell you one thing that I will tell everybody: everybody changes, except especially when you know you lose a mom or you lose a dad. Be patient with that person, because it changes you mentally. It really does. And when you're in a marriage, and I've learned this kind of the hard way, you got to remember to keep on loving them through their changes.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife the I could grow flowers on my scalp when I was little. I can, you know what, Joy? I have a complaint. I can grow hair everywhere except my head. I can take my ear hairs and put it on my head. That I mean, I got hair everywhere. Um,
That's
but,
usually what happens. You
but
know,
I
my stepdad was a recruiter, and he was gung ho military, army veteran, you know. But when it came to me and my stepbrother wanting to enlist, he tried to talk me out of it. He talked his son out of it.
mm,
So, you know, it's interesting how people who can still be gung-ho about it, don't want their children to be a part of the life.
All right. Well, hey, before we go on break, it's that. But before we go on break, I'm gonna go ahead and catch it now. But before we go on break, we're gonna go to the top news of the day, and yeah, there we go, and I'll hit this one. They're all perfect. Look at that. HG's on it like a bad rash. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the news today, of the day that I want to talk about real quick. Me and Amber was talking about it over the week. You know, this new VA privilege, this TSA free membership thing that's going on. So we got some things wrong, and let me explain to you. So we dug into this because the VA website, it wasn't completely clear. If you qualify, don't start by making a TSA appointment. First, you're going to want to log into your va.gov account, and you're going to want to look for a TSA pre-check application fee waiver letter. Okay, this comes from the VA. This doesn't come from benefits. This comes from VA. And before you check for your letter, think about this. Right now, when you go to the airport, do you have to get checked out? Like, do you have a prosthetic? Do you have an AFO? Are you blind? Are you missing a limb? If you're one of those individuals that constantly uses TSA because they have to use the X-ray or you have to use that, that's what this is for. Okay, this isn't for individuals to show up. Hey, I got my ID card. I get free. That's not what this is for. This is for basically, hey, look, you don't have to set an appointment. We're gonna give you this access free because you need it. So that's something to keep in mind. All right.
This doesn't include like canes or walkers or scooters or.
Well, it does, because with a cane, they still have to put that through the X-ray machine.
Okay. Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
All right. So anything that takes a little bit of effort, like right now, okay, then you have a 50-50 chance of qualifying. Now, it doesn't matter if you think you qualify. It matters if the VA qualifies. So what I would say is you're going to probably have to get with your like patient advocate. But, first of all, log into your va.gov account, look and see if you got that letter. If it's there, you download it, and you're going to email it to the TSA enrollment contractor, IDMA. IDMA is the third party. Nothing's free. They're the ones paying for it. Okay. So they'll send you a code, the VA, and then you schedule I'm sorry. So they'll send you the contractor IDM. They'll send you a code. You'll schedule your enrollment appointment with TSA. And when you go to TSA, when you do the appointment thing, you'll have 3 drop-down boxes. One will say TAPS. Another one will say something about like military families. It's like $25 off. And then you got like the regular application fee.
Okay.
I don't see them having a drop box because they're doing it this way. But they'll send you a code, and then you schedule your enrollment appointment. And if you think you qualify, but you don't have the letter, again, I say contact your VA primary care team or your patient advocate. And remember, don't get upset. Don't get aggravated, because this is something brand new. Okay. It's like Walmart. They put out an announcement, and they're always missing something. It's always, hey, get the 65-inch TV for $200, and it's right beside something that's like $2,000. You go there, they're off. They don't have any more, and you're like, well, shit, I got here. I don't want to go home empty-handed. So then you're forced to pay like $2,000 for the thing. Just an analogy. So I just wanted to give everybody that real quick kind of like rundown. So, and other news for today, because I was looking at this. We're gonna have a little bit of sports since HG is here, but this weekend, 4th of July weekend, it's America's 250th birthday. The nation is preparing one of its biggest Independence Day celebrations ever as America marks its 250th anniversary. Cities across the country have increased security and are expecting record crowds for parades, concerts, and fireworks. But, hold that thought, but places like Colorado, there is a dangerous heat wave going across much of the U.S. right now. In fact, major heat dome is bringing dangerous temperatures to millions of Americans just in time for this holiday weekend. Officials are urging people to stay hydrated, limit outdoor activity during peak afternoon hours, and check on elderly neighbors. Utilities are also preparing for heavy power demand. Here in Colorado, public fireworks displays, 50 of them have been canceled. 50 of them have been canceled. They have police waiting for people to buy fireworks. So that's like going to Wyoming with weed. You don't do it, right? Watch it, people. The city, everybody's city, the economics, everybody's hurting. So how are they going to pay stuff? Yeah, they can't raise your taxes anymore, so they're going to stop you for speeding. So be sure to, be conscious of what's going on around you, or a better word, be observant. Okay. June jobs report has been released. The unemployment has been held 4.2% today. The U.S. added about 75,000 jobs in June. Healthcare business services continue hiring, while leisure and hospitality saw job losses. Investors are watching closely to see what that means for the future interest rate decisions. Remember, gas isn't up, but hey, my 401k is over 50,000. All right, global spotlight. International attention remains focused on tensions in the Middle East and their impact on energy markets. Oil prices have eased recently, but world leaders continue monitoring the region while financial markets watch for next week's central bank meeting and economic data. And we got the sports, and I'm going to let HG take it until 25 after, because he's really getting into the 2026 FIFA World Cup. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll start with Team USA. We had an absolutely thrilling game against. Excuse me, man. Sorry. Had an absolutely thrilling game against Bosnia on Wednesday night. We looked really good in it, though. But unfortunately, one of our better players got a red card, and it was a bad red card, because
now, for people that don't follow soccer like myself, explain what a red card is.
So it's similar to like what a flagrant or a personal foul would kind of be in like a flagrant foul in basketball, that like similar to that, where the referee will give it when they deem that an action was hostile and didn't constitute like a soccer play. What sucks about getting a red card is that you're tossed from the game and then you're suspended for the next one. So
snap.
We're going to have to appeal that, definitely. And then like also your team has to play a man down. So for 26 minutes, we were playing a man down with a 1-0 advantage. And then we got a free kick and had an absolute snipe, found the top corner, got the 2-0 victory, got out of there with a victory. The good news is we're taking on Belgium, who definitely didn't look the best, but did come back down 2-0 against Senegal and end up winning in extra time 3-2. So
Interesting.
that's going to be that'll be a good series. Hopefully we can get our guys his red card overturned before Monday when our next match is. And then some other news in the World Cup, man. The VAR system that they've been using is it's upsetting a lot of people. Last night Croatia got absolutely hoed by the VAR.
Hoed?
Yes.
Is that such a word, hoed?
It's some new slang. But basically they had an equalizer goal in like the 110th minute in stoppage. Like, so they're playing in the stoppage time.
Mhm.
And they're down 2-1. It looked like basically over. There was maybe a minute and a half left the stoppage time that they had to get something done. And they get this equalizer goal and they go to a replay to look at it. And there's this year there's a sensor in the ball that like detects when it was touched. And so apparently the ball must have like grazed the hair on the top of this Croatian player's head, but that tripped the sensor in the ball. So apparently it went off of a Croatian player before it hit off of a Portuguese player. And because of that, the guy that eventually set up the assist for the goal was called offside and the goal was taken off the board.
Oh, all right.
It's been like the football Twitter, all social media. I mean, it's been blowing up about that. That's not the first like controversial equalizer goal that's been wiped off by like a very by millimeters because of the VAR system. The Iranian team also, they lost a goal that would have been would have forced a draw and actually probably put them into the knockout round because they would have had enough points in their group. But like the toe of a player was like detected offside. So I mean, like there are a couple of teams that have been just taken out by like millimeter, like the sensors just detecting like a millimeter of space. It's been a little unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, the good news is US is still in it. And it's time for us to go on a really quick break. And when we come back from that break, we'll be hitting the What the segment. And the discussion, we're going to play the video, and the discussion is going to be, should Uber drivers be accountable for their customers? If you don't know what I'm talking about, stay with us. We'll explain coming up next. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA, right here on the H Train Show on the station that's letting our veterans be heard, MBR. Yep.
Been 10 years since I'd seen his face. Not much had changed, just a different time, different place. When I shook his hand, I knew something had changed. This was a different man from the one I knew back then. That's when he said, where duty goes. Yes, I stand in line and watch the flag wave and brag. You see, this is what I do. Yes, I bleed red, white, and blue. He told me the tales of his journeys far away
3 times gone, and the land most only see on the front page. With honor and glory, he stood so tall and fought for you and I, so we could be free from it all. That's when he said, "Where duty goes, yes, I stand in line and watch the flag wave with pride." You see, this is what I do, yes, I bleed red, white, and blue. When duty calls, yes, I stand in line and watch the flag wave and brag. You see, this is what I do, yes, I bleed. This is what I do, yes, I bleed. Oh, this is what I do, yes, I bleed. Red, white, and blue.
Raised on gravel roads, mud between our toes, by men who crossed oceans and came back close. They didn't talk much about the hell that they saw, just tipped their hats and lived by the law. We learned early on, you stand or you fall, carry your weight or you don't stand at all. From a hard day's work, no time for lust, showed us what a man is by what a man does. We weren't raised quitters, suck dust, bent still, learned to take a hit before we learn to feel. Don't be freedom's foe, don't bring my family woe. You never known pain like the kind you know. When you make a good man bad, take his peace away, turn a quiet life into a judgment day. It'll be fun, we won't run, cut you down without noise. That's how it goes with the Boomer Boys. With the Boomer Boys. Yeah. We cut our own switches, drank from roadside ditches, learn which way the river really flows. Yeah, smart enough to always peek downstream, hard lessons not every generation knows. Work through sickness, sweat, broken bones, didn't need a lot to stand on our own. Punch the clock, brought a paycheck home, clothes on, our kids back, that's how love was shown. We don't go looking, but we won't back down, threading what's ours and up in the ground. Don't be freedom's foe, don't bring my family woe. You never known pain like the kind you know. When you make a good man bad, take his peace away, turn a quiet life into a judgment day. It'll be fun, we won't run, cut you down without noise. That's how it goes with the Boomer Boys. Yeah, with the Boomer Boys. Oh. A homegrown sleeper cell, quiet and still, protecting our kids and paying our bills. Leave our culture alone, let a flag fly free, or suffer the storm from every color and creed. Raised by wolves from a heart of time, depression, grit, and a war-born mind. They didn't show love like we do today, too tired for our time. Just go out and play. Don't take my freedom, don't threaten my kin. You'd rather take a wolf's kill from its den, or slap a rattlesnake to see what it do. You'll get bit either way, and that's all on you. Our fathers were hard men, they suffered and lost, built tomorrow from nothing, no matter the cost. Knocked down many times, but got back in the game. They showed us the way, then gave us the reins. Don't be freedom's foe, don't bring my family woe. You've never known pain like the kind you know. When you make a good man bad, take his peace away, turn a quiet life into a judgment day. It'll be fun, we won't run, cut you down without noise. That's how it goes with the Boomer Boys. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, songs of silence, steel and scars, raised in the shadow of old war stars. And if that call comes, you won't hear noise, just the rising storm of the Boomer Boys. Hey!
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by Work Simple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.we.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H-Trade Show here on the station that's letting our veterans be heard, MBR. And, we just got some crazy news. Before we go into the What the segment, we kind of covered a little bit on Wednesday on the final timeout. Remember final timeout? Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, same time as this. And Buffalo Bills, I guess they're making like a stadium museum. And can you believe that they are erasing O.J. Simpson from being in that museum? And we're not gonna discuss it, but here's a question for all the viewers, all the listeners: are we putting is character and athletic ability the criteria for players to be in the Hall of Fame? And the reason why I say that is because we all know Tom Brady is first ballot Hall of Fame, right? Look at how many scandals he's been a part of, though. A wrong is a wrong. It doesn't matter where it is, Barry Bonds, Pete Rose, all of them, they can't make it because, of like
juicing scandal,
betting and, drugs and stuff like that, which, today everybody bets, so just something to think about. That I want to lift up to my, our listeners and viewers. But
I think,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, in my opinion, that's an honor to be recognized. And if you aren't an honorable person, I don't think that you should be recognized like that. Especially when he wrote a whole book that said, "If I did it."
Right. That book was kind of like, all right, you're just taunting us.
Yeah.
Also, the other news, which brings us to the What the segment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it is the What the segment.
Port Authority police at JFK answered.
And they had found him because he was trying to get on he was on the TSA line.
I wanted to go to Fuka, Japan.
Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to create a crowd fund and get Lil Bro to Japan ASAP. Because the level of intelligence that you have to book a black car service to the airport and fly first class to Japan. All of the gentle parenting I've been learning from the Lemonade family would have went out the window. I would have whooped his ass. Yeah. But where was the ding on the phone? Where was the ding on the door? Where is the security? Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
right?
he take him to Japan. I'm just glad nothing happened to him. They blaming everybody but they damn self. They blaming Uber and shit. Like, people Uber their kids all the time. His ass packed his bag. Where was y'all at when he packed his luggage and his carry-on? Take him to Japan right now.
Now that happened in Valley Stream, New York, as you can see, June 28th of this year. An 11-year-old boy with autism left his Long Island home before dawn. He packed a suitcase, ordered a rideshare, and traveled alone to John F. Kennedy International. Now, this is what I want to say. You know, here in Colorado, you got to be 21 to smoke cigarettes. You got to be 21 to drink alcohol, right? Well, wouldn't you need at least a permission slip from mom to the taxi driver? Hey, this is what's going on.
No.
When are Uber drivers going to be accountable? And it's not just ride shares. Like, how many people here have did Uber Eats or something like that, right? What do they do now? They're using the coronavirus that, you know, I think is long gone now. They're using that as an excuse. They'll literally bring delivery food to the door, right there where you can't even open it. Okay. And then
that happens.
It really irritates me. The only people that are knocking on your door and greeting you with your food is the pizza dude. Now, what is wrong with this? This goes out to anybody that Ubers. Stop leaving it at the doorstep.
Well, you can choose.
I know. I don't choose that, though.
Well, then that's your problem. You know, if you want them to hand you the food, tell them to.
I did. I said we need plates. Because and then the jackasses, they just put the plates on top of the thing. They don't even put anything on top of it. It's anyways, but
this kid, I mean, you know, nowadays it's very easy to do something like this because all you have to do is have an app. You can buy the tickets online by yourself, all that stuff. I mean, now when you show up, there's probably going to be questions, but
yeah, I mean, why is this kid not asking this kid these questions? That's what I just don't get. No, I get it. Kids lie, but come on now.
Well, I mean, like Joy said, blame everyone except the parents, typical. And honestly, I mean, the parents really need to be held accountable for this as well, because he did all of this by himself and then got himself to JFK Airport. So, I mean, there was a lot of not paying attention, obviously. And the fact that they have it on their door cam and they weren't alerted. They didn't intervene or say, hey, stop. What are you doing?
You have an 11-year-old special needs child that was just alone for that long, without out of your supervision. You didn't know where he was at.
Right.
All I can say, if he had autism, either the driver was really dumb or this kid is very, very high achieving autism. That's all I got to say.
Well,
'Cause-
No, not necessarily.
Huh?
like it's in the New York area. Like I've Ubered out there a few times. Like there's like it's a very wide variety of different drivers. So like there's a good possibility that maybe the driver he got didn't speak like a ton of English, and like you said, the kid
That's very true.
like been like, my mom's ordering me an Uber, and it's like, I mean, like you're an Uber driver, like just trying to make some money. Are you going to like what are you going to do with this kid? Like if they say like, oh, my parents are trying to get me to this place, like no, like the parents should just be aware of what their child is and where he's going. Like you're putting the burden onto strangers who, I mean, are honestly just at work, like trying to get their job done. Like you need to be watching your kid.
Okay, all right, I'll buy that.
Well, and autistic kids are usually highly intelligent, just in different ways too. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, talking about highly intelligent, before we go to drop the date, check this out, everybody. We have a birthday fundraiser going on right now. You can find it on Facebook. Hell, you can find it on the website. Make sure that you go to MBR and you donate, ladies and gentlemen. The first 3D printed beaker. Okay. The first one. So think we could be like Disney. Okay. Like this is not only beaker, but this is a part of MBR history. This means that you
better sign it too.
Right. Well, I don't know if I want to sign it. We'll think about it. But I tell you what, this little guy, he wants to be in your house. We're going to take the highest donation that we get by midnight tonight. The highest donation will get this little guy. Okay. Now, we were planning on doing skydiving July 4th. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because financially, we things didn't happen. So we're not going to push it. But remember, Military Broadcast Radio, not only do we do radio, talk radio, gaming, podcasting, of course, we do 3D printing, and now we do animation. So we've got 5 different outlets. So when you donate, remember, you're not just donating to a nonprofit. You're donating to help a veteran get his feet wet, help a veteran get taught how to do some of these different outings. Amber is one of them. You know, Amber started here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and look at the incredible impact that she has made on not only MBR but on the world. You know, the track records. You know, she's been in several magazine articles. She has found 5 missing kids in the last 2 years, and that's 2, and 3. That's 3. And see, and that's incredible. It really is. You know, we had a missing dog just, what was it, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and they found their owner. So we're getting the word out. You're listening, you're watching, and we really appreciate it because we know that there's so many options out there, including Netflix, and you choose to listen to this hot air. So we really appreciate you tuning in every single day here at MBR, and we really appreciate you coming through. I think we have a fantastic community, and one of the things that MBR is trying to do is we're trying to be a virtual MWR kind of thing. Because remember, when you're in the military and you get booted out, you get booted out. That's it. That's how it is. You know, there's not really a help for transition. So that's what we're here for. And ladies and gentlemen, now it is that time. It is Amber's, or no, you're Factor Cap. My bad.
What am I doing?
It is drop the date
today.
in history.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drop the date. These are the discussions. These are the questions, and I'll let HG answer and Amber answer. But today's drop the date takes us back to July 3rd, 1863. Did you know on this day the Battle of Gettysburg reached its dramatic climax as Confederate forces launched Pickett's charge? Thousands of soldiers crossed nearly a mile of open ground under relentless Union fire. The assault failed, and many historians consider this to be the turning point of the Civil War. Sometimes one day can change the direction of an entire nation. And that's kind of like life. One thing can change your world. There was a major that did a speech. Now I don't make my bed, okay, but the one thing that I do every morning is I take a shower and I get dressed. I get dressed to go nowhere, because that's what they told me as a TBI. I had to make conscious efforts of doing tasks to serve a purpose, to get me loaded and stuff. So we wanted to bring that up. So the question is, we'll ask you first, HG.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Was Pickett's charge bravery or a leadership mistake?
Pickett was that was the Confederate leader, right?
Yeah, he was a Confederate general, correct, Amber?
I don't even know anything about Pickett's charge, which is weird because I love the Civil War. So I'm looking at it now. Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Okay, General Pickett. Yeah, he was a Confederate.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
then I'm just gonna call it a leadership mistake because I ain't ever calling a Confederate traitor brave.
And I know when I call it a leadership mistake, I would call it ego. And we deal with a lot of that these days, especially in society. And I'm sure back then it was no different. I'm sure somebody told him, "Hey, man, we're lacking some ammunition here and stuff. We should probably think twice about this." I don't know. I think it's ego. What do you think, Amber?
Well, like I just said, I don't really know much about General Pickett's charge, but Gettysburg, has always been something that has fascinated me. I don't know why this blip of information is escaping me, because genuinely, like I have always been extremely fascinated with Lincoln and the Civil War and everything. So, like, 7 years ago, our forefathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated.
I had memorized
all men are created equal. I used to know that whole thing, So I just think that what we need to remember most about that whole battle is that there were family members fighting against family members. And I just can't even imagine that.
Right? And we get mad at the dinner table, Thanksgiving dinner, when somebody talks politics.
Right.
Go figure.
Right.
Oh, you just had to join the union, didn't you, buddy? I can just see it now. All right. Next question. Can one day really change history? Like, do you think a speech like Gettysburg Address, do you think that changed anything? I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
they can change history.
Okay.
I mean, oftentimes it's just one day that sets off. That can be the catalyst and the start for a major historical event.
9/11.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that um, you know, it's in our DNA. It's in our DNA. I mean, here lately, it kind of disappears after 1 or 2 days. But I mean, hey, the caring and the support kind of changes a couple of days after a funeral, also. So you got to keep that in mind. But ultimately, I think 9/11 really brought everybody together, and as much as I love the internet, as you can tell, and as much as I love Chat GPT, during life society, there's going to be things that come and go that it's going to make us complacent, and I think when 9/11 happened, the support was very, very, very longevity. Now it's not so much, but I do believe that a quote or a speech can really get somebody fired up. I mean, hell, look at football teams before they go out to a game. The coach gives them a real good, motivational butt slap like Deion Sanders. So I absolutely think that it can really change history. Amber?
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at this one event in time. I mean, he's telling everybody, remember, we're all created equal in God's eyes, and this is the catalyst, the impetus to change our society and the way that we were doing things. And it absolutely made a huge impact on the rest of our country moving forward from that day.
So what should we remember most about Gettysburg? HG?
Probably just the I think the power of a good speech, and that that's something, the idea that we are all created equal is such a unifying and powerful thing to accomplish. This whether help accomplish victory in the battle, or to just advance society and our world forward. It's that that we were that belief, and that idea that we are all equal and that we're all in this together is very powerful.
I think the one thing we should remember most about Gettysburg is kind of like what we should be remembering today. History repeats itself. We've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and unfortunately, some of the statues have been, taken away or replaced or something like that. And I understand there's a lot of hurt, but unfortunately, you have to have hurt before you can upgrade, before you can go further in life. And I think sometimes we forget that, sometimes failure isn't bad. Sometimes failure is good because it was a lesson. Is it lesson or is it love, kind of thing, And I think Gettysburg, the whole battle, reminds us that, we can we can make mistakes. We're not perfect, and we need to remember those mistakes so that we don't continue that pattern later in life. But unfortunately, it looks like we kind of have. I haven't brought it up yet, and I wasn't really going to, but a good example, and I don't want to talk about it, I just want to say a good example is when the U.S. soldiers 3 days ago took to social media and called out the president of the United States. Has that ever happened before? No, but like I said, history repeats itself, and we need to remember that we did make mistakes in the past. Amber, what do you remember most? And then we're going to go to break after you answer.
Yeah, so I believe that we should remember that both the North and the South believed that they were fighting for the right thing. And that sometimes we believe that we're fighting for justice or the right thing, and we lose sight of what is really important. And you always want to be on the right side of history, not the wrong side of history.
That's right. That's true. That's true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We're going to go on our big break. And if everything goes right, my captain, my commander, my old commander when I was in the military, well, he is going to be joining us come after the music break. And we're going to be talking to him about his brand new book, Unshaken Resolve. Hear that interview next. Stay with us. Don't go away. Once again, you're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. And you're listening to the HJ show on the station that's letting our veterans be heard. MBR. Stay with us.
Sweat to dry. for myself. But they don't see the miles, and they don't hear the silence when the world goes to sleep, or see the ghost beside me in the memories I keep. I still see dusty highways, hear the rotor blades above, still see the folded flag handed to the ones they loved. And every single Memorial Day feels like I'm there again, standing in the middle of goodbye, losing brothers, losing friends. 'Cause I never really came back home. Part of me got left behind, with the names carved into stone and the tears that families hide. Everybody says I survived, like somehow I should feel whole. But every day I carry them deep within my soul. I made it back breathing, but I lost so much alone. The truth is, after war, I never really came back home. For some it's just a holiday, a barbecue a day away. But for those who wore the uniform, the hurt never fades away. It's birthdays they'll never celebrate, kids growing up without their dad, mothers holding pictures close, trying not to break too bad. And I asked God why I made it, why my sea was still filled, why I got another sunrise while my brothers never will. There ain't a medal for the guilt, no parade can heal the pain. You just learn to keep on breathing while it pours like endless rain. I never really came back home. Part of me got left behind, with the names carved into stone and the tears that families hide. Everybody says I survived, like somehow I should feel whole. But every day I carry them deep within my soul. I made it back breathing, but I lost so much alone. The truth is, after war, I never really came back home. If you see me staring quiet, please don't think I don't care. Talking to the memories of the ones no longer there. And every laugh, every freedom, every flag that waves today was paid for by the broken hearts of the ones who couldn't stay. No, I never really came back home, though my boots touch American soil. Part of me stayed on that battlefield, in the smoke and fear and turmoil. So this Memorial Day, remember, freedom came with heavy cost, and some of us are still searching for the pieces that were lost. I'm still here fighting battles that the world may never know, 'cause the day I came home alive was the day I lost my home.
Good morning, son, I just wanted you to know all your things are with me now. Yeah, they finally made it home. There's that brand new pair of boots you only wore once or twice. I found your Army notebook there tucked inside. It's all laid out for me to see, and I can feel your presence right here with me. Everything you ever owned is sitting here with me, right down to your cowboy boots and jeans. And like a bad dream that doesn't seem to want to stop, it all came home in a cardboard box. Yeah, uniforms, baseball caps, old t-shirts and socks. All that's left of you came home today in a cardboard box. There's that 49ers flag that hung above your bed, sweatshirts and ball caps and gold and red. Those camo uniforms are in there too, along with that black beret that meant so much to you. I have your patches, coins, and watches all up on a shelf, a solemn reminder of the life that you led. Everything you ever owned is sitting here with me, like down to your cowboy boots and jeans. And like a bad dream that doesn't seem to want to stop, it all came home in a cardboard box. Yeah, your uniforms, baseball caps, old t-shirts and socks. All that's left of you came home today in a cardboard box. Yeah, I know this whole world will never be the same, so I'll try to just keep walking through this storm of pain. There's no rhyme or reason why you're gone so soon. There's no book or prayer that eases the pain of losing you. Son, I know that you're in a better place, but I just can't seem to shake this pain. So I try to keep holding on, just try not to go insane. I sit here in silence and think of you a lot, going through all of these memories in a cardboard box. Yeah, everything of yours came home today in a cardboard box.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by Work Simple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.we.
We are back. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H Train Show on the station that's giving our veterans a voice, MBR. And boy, do we have a treat for you. It is the interview of the week. And today, for the interview of the week, we have my former commander. We have Captain Payne, Michael Alexander Payne. Welcome to the show. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show and talking about this fantastic book that you wrote.
Hey, Joel, man, I tell you what, you were an awesome soldier. I loved having you in my company, and I absolutely am honored to be here with you today. Joel, let me tell you about Unshaken Resolve. First, I guess let me tell you a little bit about myself, and thank you for that strong introduction. So I'm Michael Payne. I'm a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel. I'm a combat veteran, 4 tours in Iraq. I'm a business leader. I'm a coach. I'm a husband. I'm a father, and now a grandfather. But my newest title is author of Unshaken Resolve. And a little bit about this book. This book is a leadership manual. It's not just the military stories. It is a live recap of my leadership journey throughout the military, throughout corporate America, and now as an entrepreneur. This book lays out what leadership looks like when pressure rises and when the path is unclear, when people are watching you and they're going to see whether you're going to panic or stay steady. And the goal is to stay steady as a leader. At the core, Unshaken Resolve is about preparation, belief, mentorship, faith, and the internal standard a leader must build before the pressure shows up. So that's the introduction to the book. Joe, I know you got a bunch of questions for me.
I do. And you know, Amber, I think she came up rogue because she read the book. She has some questions.
I haven't read it.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well, she said she had some questions too.
You ever read my book yet?
Not yet.
I'm on page 7. I'm still trying to. But I have a hard time like comprehending. But you know, one of the reasons why I really wanted you on the program is because it's very hard. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel that it's very hard sometimes being a man of God and being a leader at the same time, because you have to have so much empathy, but not being a pushover kind of thing, right? So with that being said, like, who do you feel this book is for? I mean, you kind of told us in your introduction, but like, is there somebody that you had in mind when you did this?
Yeah, that's a great question, Joel. And the truth of that is everybody. You see, everybody is a leader. Everybody is a leader. You're either a parent, you're a son or a daughter taking care of elderly parents, you work in business, and though you may not have the title, you're responsible for something. You are leading something. And so it's vitally important that we realize everybody is a leader. We might be at different echelons of leadership, but everybody's a leader. And see, we all deal with pressure. We deal with pressure from work. We deal with pressure from family. We deal with pressure from the environment. We deal with past pressures of, like Joel, you and I, like sharing some time in combat in Iraq.
Right.
We all deal with pressure. And see, my faith is a major part of this book. Every chapter starts with scripture. And why did I do that? Because faith gives leadership its foundation. For me, leadership is not just about effectiveness. It's about stewardship. God gives us influence, responsibility, family, teams, businesses, opportunities, friendships. The question is, what do we do with what we've been entrusted with? You see, faith for me keeps me grounded. When pressure rises, faith keeps me grounded. It reminds me that leadership is a service, not an ego. It reminds me that people are not tools to accomplish a mission. You see, they're more than tools. They are souls, they're families, and they have futures. My faith doesn't mean I have all the answers by any stretch of the means. But what it means is I know where to go when I do not have the answers.
Wow. And that one part that you said, leadership isn't ego, it's leading. It's getting in the dirt with them. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have so many veterans that do the shows on here. And when I ask them to do something, that they do it because they know that I would not ask them to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. And I'm teaching them at the same time. I think that's a really important key, what you just said, because so many people that are leaders, they kind of have egos, they're like, delegate stuff. And it's like, well, why are you delegating if you're just standing there watching? Why don't you work with me? Why don't you be over my shoulder? Teach me some stuff while I'm working and doing stuff. I'm sure there's things that I don't know that you know. So I that key, that what you just said, that really spoke to me. Amber, I'll let you ask the next question.
Well, I do see that you definitely have to be a servant leader in order to be an effective leader, right? You have to get down and dirty and be humble, and you have to be willing to serve to be a leader, in my opinion. But can you remember the moment you realized resolve was something that had to be developed rather than something that people are born with?
Yeah, let me share a story with you. And this story is in the book, and it really resonates with what we're talking about right now. In the book, I tell a story about being in a helicopter after I was a company commander. After I worked with Joel, I got selected to be the aide de camp to the 1st Infantry Division commander. And in the book, I tell a story about being in Baghdad in combat, flying back from Baghdad, back up to Tikrit to the 1st Infantry Division headquarters, or AKA FOB Danger. And we're flying back, and the helicopter's taking small arms fire, and an RPG was launched in our direction. And that moment taught me that leadership is not about fearlessness, it's about faithfulness. See, we had been flying back from Baghdad, our helicopter was hit with small arms fire, an RPG was fired in our direction. Here's the funny thing. A bullet lodged right under my seat, stuck in the Kevlar floor that had been put in the day before. So we had been in combat for about 7 months, and we just got Kevlar flooring in the division commander's helicopter. And that Kevlar floor saved my life. And we got back to Baghdad. We got back to Tikrit from Baghdad, and we're sitting in the headquarters, and the boss is doing some work, and the crew chief came up to me, and he handed me that bullet that was lodged under my seat. And he's like, "Hey, sir, you're a lucky man." And then I took it, and we kind of laughed about it. And about an hour, 2 hours later, I walked into the boss's office, and it was probably 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. And I said, "Hey, sir, what are we doing tomorrow? Just want to verify the schedule." And he looked at me with pinpoint eyeballs, and he said, "We're going back out." Then he said something I'll never forget. He said, "If you don't walk into the fire with your men, you're not a leader." Yeah. And that's what Joel was just talking about. You see, that sentence, that stayed with me. That was 23 years ago. And that sentence has resonated with me since. You see, walking into the fire doesn't mean chasing danger. It means refusing to separate yourself from the risk you ask others to bear. It means being present. It means sharing the responsibility. It means choosing the harder right when stepping back could be a lot easier. Yeah. You see, walking into the fire with your men, if you don't do that, you're not a leader.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm going to keep that quote. I'm going to chew on that quote. If you can't walk into the fire with your men, then you're not a leader. That brings us kind of our next question. The what exactly is calm is contagious? I'm interested in about this.
Yeah, that's my favorite chapter in the book. It's actually one of the first chapters I wrote. You see, calm is contagious means a leader internal state transfers to the room. If a leader panics, the room escalates. If I were to walk into a room and go, "Oh my God, what a day. Oh, and I have all this stress and anxiety, guess what the room's going to do? They're going to feed off of my energy because I'm going to be vibrating at a frequency that's not calm. It's not a leader.
That makes
And
sense.
so if the leader panics, the room escalates. If the leader stays steady, the room has permission to think. I learned that in the Tactical Operations Center when I was an S3. We had troops in contact with the enemy. We're in Iraq. Radio traffic would spike, voices would overlap. You know how it goes, Joel, right? Like
Right.
the information's just all over the place.
Right.
And
Always a
lot of
frago. Always a frago.
Yeah. And when you have incomplete information, but yet as running the Tactical Operations Center, lives were at stake. And in those moments, it's important that things were in control. And I knew I could not control the battlefield, but I controlled my presence. So when things escalated in the talk, I would slow my breathing, I would lower my cadence, and I would ask very clear questions. Where are you? What is your situation? Do you have casualties? And what do you need from me? And that kind of calm creates a structure. And that structure created clarity. You see, those same principles not only work on the battlefield, but they work in business. They work with your children. They work with your spouse. And they work regardless of your leadership stature. Because calm doesn't mean you're passive. Calm means you're disciplined enough to remain useful. How many times have you seen a person who's being in charge, who's very chaotic, and you're looking at that knucklehead going, dude, I can't even follow what you're saying. You're all over the place. But when you take a couple deep breaths, you lower your cadence, and you ask clear questions, then everybody else follows suit. And now you can do something with what the information you're provided.
And that makes sense, because if you're in a room full of people and one person starts clapping, everybody starts clapping because they don't want to stick out like a sore thumb kind of thing. So that makes sense. And I was in the talk one time, and unfortunately it was when the I forget what it's called. Bradley. It was when the Bradley tipped over, and we lost a couple of soldiers, from drowning because they slipped off that mudslide. I remember that, and I remember everybody was calm, and that's one thing that I did learn. You can sit there and yell and jag and all that stuff, but you're exactly right. Calm kind of calms the other people down to where they know, hey, help's on the way, kind of thing. And especially like if you meet somebody that is very seriously injured, and they're probably not going to make it, but you don't tell them that. You say, look, you're going to be okay, don't worry about it. We gotta, because you have to calm them down so that their heart and their blood keeps on while you're pressing down. So that makes perfect sense. Amber, I'm going to let you ask the last question before we go to the time to shine.
So in military and ministry, as a leader, you often, you have to make decisions, and they're not always the popular decision. And how do you deal with that? Because there's so many times where people believe that a decision a leader has made is totally the wrong choice, and it's usually based on emotion. How do you deal with that as a leader?
I'm gonna answer that in a two-part answer, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think the first thing we have to realize is that we have to be secure in ourselves. We have to have identity before we have authority.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, identity before authority means you have to know who you are, and you don't rely on a title that you hold, a rank that you hold. You see, titles and rank are temporary, but your character remains. And, you know, sometimes people don't understand that the leader has a lot of information. They have a lot of different data points.
Yep.
And in those data points, leaders have to put that together and make it information. And then that information can be used to make a decision. So a person may say that's the wrong decision, but they don't have all the data points. You would trust that the leader has all the data points.
Yeah.
And so when a leader makes an unpopular decision for a specific group of people, the leader should go back and say, hey, I understand your concerns. I hear what you're telling me. But I want you to understand that there are other data points that affect this decision. And when we go back and explain that to the group that has the concern, we are able to facilitate the decision, and they see how and why we came to that decision point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the things I learned is that leadership is never about the uniform. It's never about the rank. It's never about the title. Leadership is about the responsibility, the character, the service, the standards, and especially the calling. Not everybody's called to be a leader in a positional way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, everybody is a leader in their own way. See, authority is temporary, but character, that's enduring. And if we have an enduring character, we can explain why we are making an unpopular decision to a certain group based off of additional facts that they may not be aware of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it can be a lonely existence sometimes.
It really is, right? They say leadership at the top is a lonely place.
It is.
And I will tell you that is true in some aspects.
Mm-hmm.
But where I believe it is good is that every leader should have a mentor. Every leader should have a partner. Because if you're like for me, I run a CEO group, right? All these chief executive officers of real estate teams. So there's about 10 of us in this group. We're all CEOs. We all are real estate, but we help each other get through some of the hardest things. See, I believe that there is cooperation over competition. Yes. Are those other CEOs my competition? Absolutely. Are they in different markets? They sure are. But when we collaborate and cooperate, we share ideas, we share the wins and losses, and we learn from each other, and we elevate all of us together.
That's absolutely true.
At the top doesn't have to be lonely. But it will be if you're only looking at it from a competition perspective versus a cooperation perspective.
Yeah, I think I'm referring to it's hard to find those people that are willing to be held accountable and want to do better.
Yeah, right. And that's what we talked about ego before.
Yeah.
Right. That's an egotistical response that is negative.
Yeah.
And that's where I say it's cooperation over competition. Because if we get rid of the ego, we can all elevate together.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Sir, you should be a football coach. Just saying. Just saying. Well, hey, sir, we're coming up on the time to shine, and I'll explain what that is. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the time to shine. Yeah, there we go. All right. Sir, maybe I didn't ask you that, that certain question that you really wanted to, get off your chest. This is your moment to kind of share whatever we didn't share on the interview, something that you wanted to get across to everybody, to push. The next 2 minutes is your platform. You can say thank you to anybody, you can give anybody advice, you can tell people about the book. This is your time to shine.
All right. Hey, I think one of the biggest lessons as a leader is preparation. You see, because there's pressure, and we have pressure from every angle as a leader. We have pressure from every angle as a parent, as a spouse, as a husband, as a wife, as a child, as a brother, sister, you name it. We get external pressure. And one thing I learned when I was an EMT, an emergency medical technician, and I also learned this in the Army, and I learned it during combat. When chaos shows up, your emotions, they want to take over. And we have an emotional response, and that emotional response usually does not work out in our favor. But when you change your breathing and you slow down your heart rate and you start to think, because you've trained your body by preparing, it gives you structure before the chaos arrives. That's why training is so important. That's why rehearsals are so important. If we don't rehearse a conversation that we have to have with somebody that may be advantageous, if we don't rehearse that, we're not prepared for when that sucker punch hits us from behind. Mm-hmm. See, we have to have routines in our lives. That's called discipline. And preparation allows us as leaders to stay useful when everyone else is still trying to figure out what just happened. A leader is prepared. You're never going to be 100% prepared. But if you get to the 75% solution, the rest of it you can handle. I promise you. Joel, let's get back to combat. When I was your company commander, we trained and trained and trained. We went out into the local training area before we went to Hohenfeld.
Right.
And we were ready before we got there. Were we 100%? No, we were about the 75, 80% solution. But you know what? We were prepared. So when the chaos of the quote unquote Krasnovians came at us, the enemy, the Op 4, the opposing force, we were prepared to win and win decisively. And that's the same thing that we have to do in life. We have to train and prepare beforehand. We should never go into a decision unprepared, unrehearsed. We should always be thinking. That's my number one lesson out of the reason I wrote this book. Look, for those of you who don't know about the book, it's called Unshaken Resolve. It's available on Amazon, but you can go to my website, www.unshakenresolve.com, and you can order the book directly from the website. And I've posted some helpful tips on my website that are all free. There's more stuff coming next week. It'll be uploaded probably on Monday. So I have a 15-minute meeting, how you should lead a morning meeting or a morning huddle. It takes 15 minutes. It's a free download. I encourage you guys to go out there, and you can use it in your life. You can use it in business. You can use it in your job, and you can use it with your children. A 15-minute huddle, guaranteed. It'll change the way you operate. Again, www.unshakenresolve.com.
Awesome.
Sir, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your book and talking about, your experience with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're talking to Michael Alexander Payne. That's so weird saying that instead of sir. We're talking to the veteran author of Unshaken Resolve. Sir, thank you so much. And behind the scenes, I'll send you the interview and the Spotify clip once it's proved. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And God bless you and your family as you guys are traveling abroad and stuff.
I definitely appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for your service. Joe, you were an incredible soldier when you were in my command. I'll never forget the dedication that you gave to America, and I definitely appreciate what you do now for our veteran community. Have a blessed day. Enjoy the 250th birthday of this great nation. But remember, without the United States Army, who's 1 year older than our nation, we wouldn't be a nation. So God bless all our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardmen, and Space Force. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for what you do, and have an amazing celebration.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, Amber, nice to meet you. Take care. Thank you very much for what you guys do.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. That was a fantastic interview. I'm telling you, he's no different as a commander. He really pumped us up and got us ready and stuff. He's an amazing man. He's an amazing man, and his walk with Christ just really, it inspires me. It really does. I check out his motivational butt slaps every week. He does like a video thing, talking to all the warriors and stuff, But that one thing that he said that's really stuck to me: a leadership is all about being a servant, not ego.
It's true.
And and I didn't say it when he was on here, but I should have. There's a saying that I have on Facebook, and it's exactly true. And I've learned this, that roles can be filled, but results are earned over time. Having a nonprofit, there was one time that I had a person sitting in the vice president spot, and like MBR wasn't growing. Nothing was happening. But hey, we still had a VP, that we still have that spot. And then Tracer came, and then like she's too humble. She has really brought an MBR up, and she has really progressed us really, really fast within 3 years. I mean, it's crazy.
Huge improvement.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So that what he said, that really caught me. That really, I'm gonna chew on that. But I tell you what, it is that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is the tribute to the troops, and then when we come back, then we'll do the fact or cap. So whatever you do, stay with us, don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA on the station that's giving veterans a voice. MBR, it's the A-Street Show. Stay with us now.
Detail attention.
First call. The service member's name is called out loud in the context of a unit. This is meant to ensure all are present and accounted for. Second call. The name is called out again, louder, to confirm that the service member is indeed absent. Third call. The name is called out for a final time, followed by a statement indicating that the service member is not present and accounted for, signifying their death. The final roll call serves as a symbolic gesture to respect and remember their service.
Sir, I don't know how to tell the story.
Well, you got to, Joe. You tell these people what these men did here. You tell them how my troopers died.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to MBR today as we pay tribute to Montgomery County Deputy Sheriff Erica Serrato, age 24, of Conroe, Texas. Erica was born on July 11, 2001 in Houston, Texas to Rodolfo and Leticia Serrato. From an early age, she brought light into the lives of everyone around her. Her enormous smile could brighten any room, and her hugs were the kind that made people feel safe, loved, and at home. She had a gift for lifting the spirits of others with her warmth, kindness, and infectious laugh. Erica answered the call to serve others with pride and dedication. She began her career with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office as a detention officer, where she earned the respect of her peers through her professionalism, compassion, and strong work ethic. In January of 2026, she proudly fulfilled her dream of becoming a deputy sheriff. Wearing the badge was more than a profession, it was her calling. She served her community for 6 years with courage, integrity, and unwavering commitment to protecting others. On June 28, 2026, around 2:40 a.m., deputies were called to assist with the investigation and traffic control at a multi-vehicle crash on Interstate 45 North. While directing traffic near two marked patrol vehicles with emergency lights activated, Deputy Serrato was struck by a heavy-duty commercial vehicle towing a trailer. Deputy Serrato was transported to a local hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. One other Montgomery County deputy was also injured after being struck by debris. He was treated at a local hospital for minor injuries. The driver of the initial crash was arrested and charged with DUI. The driver of the commercial vehicle who struck Deputy Serrato was also transported to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. He was arrested and charged with passing certain vehicles in violation of bodily injury as a result of failing to slow down or move over while passing emergency vehicles. It is a charge associated with Texas Move Over, Slow Down law. One of Erica's greatest gifts was her heart. She was always willing to listen without judgment, offering comfort, encouragement, and understanding to anyone who needed it. No matter what she was facing in her own life, she always made time to help carry someone else's burden. She had a rare ability to make people feel heard, accepted, and never alone. Those who knew Erica will forever remember her joyful spirit, compassionate heart, and the genuine love she gave so freely. Erica is survived by her parents, her sisters, as well as extended family and her brothers and sisters in arms. We here at MBR would like to thank you, Deputy Sheriff Erica Serrato, for your service and dedication to our country. You leave a legacy of love and courage. Our prayers are with your family, friends, and those who served alongside you. You are truly missed.
Bell detail, pinted, ready.
Signed up to fight for freedom. What a price you had to pay. Picture in her helmet, missing family every day. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane. Some scars we'll never see. She will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. On that old dusty base with the meadows that shine, she's been to hell and back for the stars and the stripes. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane, and some scars we'll never see, and she will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. Yeah, yes. For the ones that didn't make it, we will pause and then we cry. We can still see their smile in every sunrise. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her.
Is it fact?
The station.
Is it fact or cap? You tell me.
If you bought fish from the market, place it in a bowl of water.
Is not
if
real.
Number 2, drop your shrimp into cold water. If it sinks, it is fresh. If it floats, that shrimp has been sitting on the shelf for a month. Number 3, drop your chicken into cold water. If it lets out a cloudy liquid, that chicken has been pumped full of water to make it look bigger and heavier than it is.
So share this with someone who needs to see it. Comment yes if you want more videos like this, and follow along so you do not miss a single one.
All right. Well, I kind of messed that one up. Sorry about that, HG. We're not going to really talk about that because we're kind of running out of time, but we wanted to show that, and you know, all those different things, you know, factor cap. Let us know in the comments. Do you think it's true? Do you think it's false? Some things to think about. Okay, now it's final thoughts.
At Project ML, gratitude. Our mission is simple: to give motorcycles to veterans who need the kind of peace and freedom that only a ride can give. We sponsor charity events and rides to generate donations and fund the acquisition of some bikes, while direct bike donations make up the rest. We seek to provide a little motorcycle healing to capable vets.
And remember, as always, if you know a vet or if you're a veteran and you don't have a motorcycle, we want you to experience the ride, the wind therapy. All right. Final thoughts. 1 minute each of us because we're running out of time. HG, what did you learn today?
Just, you know, the complications of being a leader and all the different things that you really have to balance. Yeah, just your commander, he had a lot of great insight into that. Obviously, a guy with a lot of experience in the field, but yeah.
Amber, what did you learn?
Just that it's very important to be a servant leader, to be somebody that is there for the genuine purpose to better the organization, the whatever it is. You know, when you're looking for a leader, you need to look at their character and what they've done in the past, and really listen to the people who knew them and know them, so that you can make a better decision of who you want your leader to be.
I agree. The one thing that I learned today, I'm going to chew on it for a while because it's a great saying. Leadership is not ego, it's being a servant. I think a lot of people need to remember that. You know, it's okay to delegate duties, but before you delegate, make sure that they know what they're doing. You know, especially if you know how to do it, make sure they do too.
I would agree with
There's
that.
things to chew on. And ladies and gentlemen, before we go, it is today's safety briefing.
Happy 4th July, America, you're 250. Don't drink and drive, avoid fires, wear a life jacket, be kind, think before fireworks, and we'll see you Monday.
All right. Well, with that being said, everybody have a fantastic weekend. Please come back with all your fingers on Monday. And if you're in an area where you can't fire fireworks, think about the fires. Do something else. So whatever you do, be safe, everybody. From me, HG behind the glass, to Amber in Missouri, we all come together and we all say, we're here for you, not for us. Giving our veterans a voice. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Be blessed.
We will be talking to the Veterans Viking Boat Club. You'll find out with us who they're all about.
Yep.
Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, I'm Beaker with Military Broadcast Radio TV. We're your virtual MWR, bringing veterans radio, podcasts, gaming, animation, 3D printing, and a community that never leaves you behind. Download our Roku or mobile app today.
Wisdom to share if you listen this week, so pull up a chair and stay for a spell. We're heading down a trail where good stories dwell.